Welcome, electronic video guests, to the outer limits of the trading card hobby TTM. Through the mail, we seek to have the famous and the infamous sign the trading cards and photographs we send to them through the mail. Today, we have one such specimen to examine. Just one today. In the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've gotten quite a few returns back. These are what we call through the mail trading card autograph requests. I've got quite a little stack here that come in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Today, we're just going to do one. I'm going to pick one out of here. When you see the return address, you'll know why. But, I just thought I'm going to do this when it's the timing and all that. This one here, you see here, coming from Mississippi State football. I sent this out probably, in early November, and I received it just after Thanksgiving. I'm going to open this up. Of course, he's seen the news regarding Coach Mike Leach. Not good news, unfortunately, if you kind of read between the lines in the news articles and whatnot. It does not sound very promising for Coach Leach. So I thought I'd bring this out now and just say a couple of little words. Mike Leach, of course, I think probably most of you know, is a very entertaining fellow. He's not the usual football coach with the boring coach speak, afraid to give any real look at his own personality and his views and opinions on things. He'll tell you what's on his mind, and and his mind is very curious. He's interested in a lot of different things besides football, and in his post-game press conferences and his weekly press conferences, you never knew what he was going to expound upon. A very entertaining, intelligent person, and also probably an underrated football coach. If you look just at his one-loss record, you might say, well, what did this guy ever win? But if you dig a little deeper and look at the career of Mike Leach, he coached at Texas Tech and had an unfortunate incident there where he lost his job there, and he went to Washington State, Mississippi State. Those are three difficult places to win games at. When you go 8-4 or 9-3 at Texas Tech, Washington State, or Mississippi State, that's like going 11-1 at Alabama. And when he took the field for his conference games at those three schools, he was more times than not had the less talented team, but more often than not he would come out a winner. And for a fellow who was one of the great passing game coaches in college football, his air raid offense, what's remarkable is the success he had with the quarterbacks he had. He never really had a top-flight quarterback. The best quarterback he ever had was probably Gardner Minshew, and he only had him for 1 year as a transfer. I mean, look at the quarterback he had the last couple of years at Mississippi State. No offense to that young fellow, but he's not an NFL prospect. He's had at best average quarterbacks, and he's won a lot of games with his system. Just as a testimony to what a great football coach he really was. He wasn't, sometimes that's overlooked for his guy, like I said, his kind of quirky, offbeat personality, but he was a good football coach also. Make no mistake about that. So I thought I'd just bring this one out today, and we hope the family and friends of Coach Leach find the peace and comfort in these upcoming tough days, and wish the best for them. And for those of us who aren't personally acquainted with the coach, when something like this happens, he wasn't, I think he was only 60 or 61 years old. Certainly there was no indication that this sudden event was going to happen. It just goes, all of us can take a moment to reflect. We're really here in this world, by a very, very thin thread. It doesn't take much. Situations can change rapidly, and hopefully everybody will take a moment to consider their own place, their own place in eternity, so to speak. That's what hangs in the balance. We get carried away with a lot of worldly issues, overlooking probably the one central fact of all of human existence, and that's what is our how are we situated for eternity? We often spend very little time thinking about that. We go on as if we're going to go on and on indefinitely, but events like this can give us pause and make us reflect on our own situation. But again, I just wanted to bring this out. We're very thankful to receive this from Coach Leach. As I said, we sent this out in early November. Probably got it back just a little bit after Thanksgiving. And one last time for his friends and family, everybody who knew him, we just hope they find the peace and comfort that they're going to need in the next day or so here. So it's our little way of saying thank you to Coach Leach. Really appreciate you signing this, sending it back to us. Means a lot. Thank you, Coach.